Hello, my name is Michelle from Unusually Grim, and this is the El Paso Comic Con vlog. It is Friday. Today is the convention. Today is from 5 to 9. I set up yesterday, kind of. It took like 2 hours to get our second table because all of the booths are 10 by 10. I was able to put everything. I don't know how to organize things, so I did the best that I could, but I'm very excited for the first time in a long time. I'm actually very excited I'm very hopeful to go to a convention, and I think it's because I like my setup a little more now that I've kind of rebranded into like darker themes. I did get a new tablecloth, so I'll show you that. I got new things. I am in the first row, so in front of like some entrances you can see me right away, so that's good. So hopefully there's a lot of people coming into my table, and I'll show you everything. I just wanted to do the little introduction. Anyway, this is the vendor badge. I got Scooby-Doo. I'm kind of sad because the media badges have waffles from Gravity Falls. I really wanted waffles. And then I left all of the ribbons because I have ribbons now. I think they're really cute, so if anybody spends 15 or more on my table, they get a ribbon. But I forgot all of them on the table, and I didn't bring my own back home, so I don't have any. I'm gonna put it once I get there. Yeah, and then we have to wear these, which makes me feel like I just went to the hospital. I don't record much during the convention because, one, I am soloing all of my conventions. I also don't like recording like people walking by because that's weird. El Paso Comic Con, this was the first convention I did back in 2023. Yes, because this is the third year I'm doing it. So, and every year I get a different table. The first year I got a vendor booth, which is twice the price from the artist alley, and it was so scary, but that's also the year and the only convention I've made over $1,000. So maybe I should go back to the vendor booth. And then last year I didn't like my booth. I had a problem with the whole rebooking thing, because when you rebook, you're supposed to rebook the exact table that you were in that year. So in my head I was like, if I don't rebook it, by the time they open it to the public, that same booth that was mine, that nobody could rebook it, should be available. So if I don't like any of the other ones that are available, I'll just get my own later on. I was refreshing that page every day for like a week until they went to the public, but mine was sold out. My previous booth was sold out, so I don't know who took it. I don't know how, because they sold my old booth, so I didn't end up getting anything. And then like a month later they opened. They used to have the celebrities in the same hall as Artist Alley and vendors, but now they switched them. I think they're in the hallway, I don't know. But because they switched them, they were able to add like 2 new rows of vendors, and that's why I am in the front row. So that's my little beef I have with the rebooking system. But that's it. Anyway, I think I look cute today. I have my little skeleton hands. I was trying to go more on my theme, but it's Friday. It's only like 4 hours. I was like, I don't want to dress up. This year we have some like really big celebrities. By big, I mean celebrities I know, because I don't watch that much stuff, so if I know them, they're big. If you are in El Paso and you're thinking of doing El Paso Comic Con, it's a good event. I've always made at least twice my booth. And another perk that you get is that with the vendor badge, you are treated kind of like a VIP, so you get to cut the lines in while getting food and celebrity photo ops and autographs. I don't know any other convention that does that. Okay, I'll see you when I show you my booth. Bye. Okay, so this is the setup. This is my old logo tablecloth. So that's why I have all of the apparel, old stuff. some of the newer stuff, but mostly apparel and originals. It goes that high. I wasn't able to put all of the big prints on display, but it's okay. And then I made this sign. I hope they don't make me take it out. That way people that come from, since I'm in the front, people that come this way, they can see my display. This is the ribbon display, the free ribbon with purchase of 15 and up. More originals. I did some mystery packs for B-grade items and stickers I don't want. And then my favorite part is this print display. That way people that come from, since I'm in the far right, people can see something instead of just like a corner. There we go. And then more prints. These are more of the newer items, and then the older prints. The sticker books, I only have one of the floating grim wood prints, and then the candles, and then these are my sculpted candles. I made the sculpture first out of clay, and then I made the mold for these. I think they turned out freaking cute, and so I have the candle display here, and I am bringing my art dolls for the first time. So this is Lydia and my vampire kid, and the little sculptures. This one's my favorite. I love the Crown King. So, and more prints. These are the ones that I want to get rid of, so, or that came out a little wrong with some defects. This one I can't remember. I think there's like some yellow somewhere, but oh well. And then I made these signs in shape of tombstones. That way they are more on theme with how I want to brand moving forward. More stuff. I might put another of the big prints here. We'll see. And then my little gram. I wanted to do a die cut, but this is homemade, so I couldn't cut it myself by hand. But anyway, and the tablecloth that just arrived like 2 days ago. Not really, it arrived on Monday, so for the, yeah. And this is my booth. And this is the mess behind the booth. I still have to organize everything, but I wanted to do a video before I forget, because I always end up forgetting not to record. So, oh, and I started doing this last year or 2 years ago for some conventions. I give like a little thing, one of my thank you cards. It says for sale of El Paso Comic Con Day 1, 2025. So the first person who buys from me gets one of these, and this is for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Hi, so back from day 1 of El Paso Comic Con, and it was kind of slow. I made like half of my table back, not counting parking and meals. So hopefully tomorrow's better. Something that happened today, there was this girl dressed as Jinx, and it was like a super cool cosplay. And she was standing in front of my table, and some guy comes and he's like, hey, the actor from Arcane is over there if you want to go check him out. And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna go like later on. And I was looking at this dude and I was like, he looks so familiar, but I don't know why. And then as soon as he leaves, we're both standing there like processing what happened. It was the actor. It was the voice actor dude, just like walked up to her and just be like, hey. And we didn't realize that until it was too late. And then she started freaking out, and I was like, wow, I don't watch Arcane. I should. I really should. I thought that was funny. He was really nice. Anyway, post-con meal is a potato. So that's all I'm gonna eat. And then sleep. But yeah, I bought so much Thanatos stuff. So today is Saturday. I am walking to the convention center. I parked, but if you go through the front, as a vendor, they make you throw away your food. And I have coffee. Last time they made me throw away my own water. I am just a Lydia. So I had to modify this costume because it's a dress, Lydia's wedding dress. But I had an insulin pump that I couldn't wear a dress for. So it's a shirt and a skirt. I'll show you later. Okay, this is the look. Okay, and this is the fit for today. I am wearing just regular jeans, but I really like this hoodie thing, whatever it's called. Today is the sensory hour at 9 to 10, so I am here early. I think it's just me and another vendor so far. But, oh, and then look, I have the little hands. So, and I'm hoping to buy earrings from my neighbors because the ones that I wanted to wear today, they broke and I haven't fixed them. So, I'm also gonna do a shout out reel thing with other friends, vendors, so I'm gonna show off their products and tag them so you can follow them. So yeah. Okay, hi, welcome to the portion of the video where I show you what I bought. First off, we're starting with the sticker sheet from the stamp rally, and this is my design. So if you completed the stamp rally, you got the sticker sheet. I got this little cute hair clip from Dear Fish, another local artist, and then another local artist is Ramen Tiki. I've bought from them before. They have a very Cartoon Network art style. Next up is this Thanatos keychain that I didn't get a business card from the artist, and I cannot find who they are because the vendor list on the website is horrible. But during setup, I saw this peeking through the fabric that we put over the tables, and I needed it. And so I was like stalking their booth until they got there, that way I could buy it. Next, I think they're also local artists, Churro Hut by Ren Churro, and I love their art. This is their OC. I love them so much. They were the ones that captured my eye, and so I got 2 stickers of them. And this one that I don't know, they told me what character this is, but I don't know. I just thought it was cute, so yeah. Next up, another local artist. This is another friend of mine that I've met, I think last year. They do a lot of needle felting. And so these are some earrings. I broke my earrings that I wanted to wear on Sunday, so these had been calling me since 2 months ago on our last convention together, and so I got them. So if needle felting interests you, go check them out, They're so cute, and they have little like needle felted figures. Next up, my next booth neighbor. This is Zombie Lounge. And I got some Haunted Mansion earrings. I was gonna get the logo of the Haunted Mansion, but I thought that was too much. So I got the little gargoyle thingy. I don't know what this is, but I love the Haunted Mansions. So another local artist who was their first time doing Comic-Con as well, and I hope they did amazing and come back. And this is Ivan Ooze, I think. I don't know if I'm pronouncing their last name right. And they do a lot of Disney art, so I got this Pinocchio one. I loved this illustration of him so much. It was so pretty. And then I got 2 Mickey stickers. Sorcerer Mickey is my favorite Mickey of all time. Next up is Dice Druid. They are the ones that started my dice hoarding collection thing. I think I have like 3 of their dice sets now. And so yeah, they're super nice. I love them both. This one has like a little skull on the inside. Look how cool that is. I hope it's a skull. I see it as a skull, so I hope it is. Next up is another amazing vendor, and I got 2 of these little ghosty pocket hogs and a Jack Skellington plushie. And lastly, a vendor an artist that I've already bought from before, and I think they were on my Anime El Paso vlog. Sloppy Brush. I got Satirus and Cerberus sticker. I wanted to get 2, but spending habits are horrible, so I just got 1. A Thanatos button. A keychain. Can you guess of who? Can you just guess who it is? A Thanatos and Hypnos. Look at the art. And then I got a print. I got this one specifically for one character. You'll never guess who. And then the Kubo print, because it's so cute and I love Laika. Kubo and the Two Strings is one of my favorite Laika films. This one in Box Trolls. Okay, so let's talk about El Paso Comic-Con 2025. Overall, it was an extremely good convention for me. I broke record on how much profit I've made in a convention. This was the second time I made over $1,000 on a con. I have been kind of like blocked in burnout mode, I guess. I'm very depressed about my small business and what I was doing with my life in general. But I don't know if it was the rebrand, because I got very excited seeing my new tablecloth. And so I was very, very excited for this weekend, and I am so glad I was. Because if it hadn't turned out like this, I think I would have just gone into more of a depressive state. But I loved my setup. I like everything new that I'm making, and I'm excited for the new things that I'm trying to do. I sold out for the first time of Soul Eater prints. I thought I wasn't going to sell that many. Out of the 13 sets that I had, all 13 sold out midday on Sunday. And then I still had people come back and ask if I still had prints. So that was exciting. I've never sold that many of one thing before, so I was so unprepared for that. But I will be restocking them and bringing more, because my next convention is Anime Central in Chicago. And that one's a big convention, so I am restocking for that. Day 1, I made like $180. So I was very, very nervous about how Saturday was gonna go, because it started out good and then it slowed down a lot. That was like half of my expenses there, but still not enough to like make a living, you know? And I don't want to keep saying that my goal is to just break even, because then I'm still at 0. So I was nervous, but Saturday popped off. I made like $800 on Saturday. So it was a very good Saturday. And then Sunday, I made like half of that, which is okay. That really helped me a lot, because with this, I can restock for the next 2 conventions, because I have them almost back to back next month, and they are 2 big conventions that I'm flying to. So I'm very nervous, but we'll see how that goes. I'll try to vlog them. Pros and cons. I had mentioned in my opening video that they sold my booth. So how El Paso Comic Con has been doing things was the last row, the row that I was in, was assigned for the celebrities. So they had more room. And then this year, they took that row and instead put the celebrities on the outside hall. So that's how I ended up with a first row booth, which great placement for me, but not so much for the voice actors and the celebrities. They had like half the space that they usually had. It was also blocked by some pillars that took half of the room. Having some of like bigger celebrities in that hallway was not good. The line was spilling into the vendors and blocking like half of the vendors that were set up by the wall. From an organization point of view, I hope they bring back the actors to the vendor hall just to have more space and be more organized. But that would also take my booth away. So if they do that, I don't think I'm going to be able to rebook. And I really like the front row. Because they can't just like expand the convention hall, you know. So I hope they figure it out. Another thing I was worried about with the expansion of vendor hall was that added at least like 20 more vendors and artists. And I felt like that was going to be a lot more competition to sell. I don't think it changed much. One complaint that I do have since like 2 years ago is that they don't vet the artist alley. This year, I've noticed a lot more of like people selling things that would be more considered more in the vendor side in the artist alley. We had some like resellers, and I did hear some like attendees complain that there was like too many 3D printers in the artist alley section, at least because that's the side that I was on. So I think they should vet who they let into the artist alley, because then there's no point of opening spaces that are supposed to be for artists selling their own art and then being taken by, just because they're cheaper, and then being taken by people who are supposed to be in the vendor section. I do like that we get to choose our own tables when you go and buy your booth, unless you're rebooking. But I still feel like they should do some sort of vetting for that. Other than that, I really liked it. Another complaint I have is about the sensory hour. They don't add it to the badges. So our vendor badges, they have the hours on the back, but they don't add the sensory hour to them. So I was confused on when it was, first. Second, a lot of artists and vendors don't show up for those hours. And yeah, it's an hour early, but that's also an hour that people who need the extra time to walk around, I would be very discouraged to show up to try and like walk around and buy things, and then not even half of the vendors and artists are there. This time, I think I did see a lot more vendors come in, but I think if they just like advertised it a little more, especially on the badges for the vendors and artists that are supposed to be there. Another complaint I have is that they use a lot of AI for their advertising now. So, yeah. That's just a complaint in general about like anybody's advertisement. Don't use AI. The first clip that I was showing right now was of me doing Soul from Soul Leader for the Gorillas art print. My next convention is Anime Central in Chicago in May. If you are interested in any of the Soul Leader stuff, I am going to have prints and stickers of them available on ASIN and Monsterpalooza, hopefully. If you are interested in following me, you can subscribe here and watch a video every month, or you can follow me on Instagram. That's where I'm the most active in, and TikTok. My Etsy store is linked on the bottom. If you are interested in supporting me financially a little, stickers and prints and bookmarks have free shipping. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video, and thank you for making it all the way to the end. Okay, thank you. Bye. Have a good day.